the Raas All-Stars. And the winner is...
So let me give you a basic breakdown of how today's going to go at least. We're going to first go over basic hops that you're going to need to know to get cross stage, all that stuff. And then after we do that, we'll go through the fun part. I think it's the most fun part is the spinning of the dandiya. These are called dandiya. It doesn't matter if you didn't know what they were called before. I used to call them just spinning sticks. So you guys are going to learn how to spin these. And then afterwards, we're going to go over a short tryout routine, and we're just going to keep practicing through that.
My name is Ish, and I'm a freshman, and I joined Raas because it's a traditional folk dance from the state in India where my parents are from, and so I thought it'd be cool to try it out and compete on a collegiate level.
Bataaka Nu Shak, an intercollegiate Raas team, is gearing up for their competition season. All three captains this year, K1 Cheer, Shilpa Yadavalli, and Nick Patel, are new. And for seniors K1 and Shilpa, this is their first and last chance to carry their team to first place. After auditions, they have 5 months to choreograph, teach, and perfect their performance for the most prestigious competition on the West Coast, Garba with Attitude.
Last year we started off with a 3rd place. Then we got 1st place and 2nd place. This year I want to start off with a 3rd place, get 1st place and 1st place. So it's steep.
Raas and Garba are Indian dance forms that originate from the state of Gujarat in western India. During the holiday of Navaratri, people dance circles around an image of the goddess Amba as a form of worship. Garba is a dance of celebration and rejoicing. It is sometimes called the clapping dance, as dancers move around in circles clapping to the music. Raas, on the other hand, involves 2 sticks called dandiya and is performed in pairs. Both dances can be traced back to ancient times, but recently, students in American universities have been using them to create a high-energy, culturally relevant dance competition.
So I heard about Raas kind of when I was in high school, and it's actually a funny story because so my friend from well, I can't really say he was my friend. We made fun of him in high school, but Baron Shaw, who was the choreographer last year, he was actually on the Raas team when I was a senior in high school. He had graduated. He was a freshman here at UCLA. He was on the Raas team. So I was actually flipping through Facebook, and I was looking at pictures of him because I wanted to scope out the Indian girls that were at the school and stuff like that. Not gonna lie. And then actually, so I saw pictures of him, and he was doing this dance or something where he was wearing what I was like looks like a muumuu, right? It's like a little skirt dress thingy, and I was making, in the back of my head, I was like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. This guy is the funniest looking guy ever.
I joined the Raas team because I wanted to meet people when I was a freshman here, and also I had planned to do the Bhangra team actually when I entered college, but we were at the activities fair and I didn't even know that UCLA had a Raas team, and then I saw their booth set up, and I talked to the captain at that time a little bit, and it seemed like it would be a fun thing to do. I
was trying to try out for all three dance teams, the Raas team, the Bollywood team, and the Bhangra team. I wanted to try all of them, be the guy who was able to do the Trinity and make it into all 3 of them. Basically, after Raas tryouts, I was really too tired to do anything else, so I decided I'll just stick with that, not go on really. And they had this, everybody says, everybody on the team wants to sell their team, so they make the argument, oh, our team wins this many trophies, our team does this. Well, Raas team always used to say, oh, our team doesn't have any drama. And that used to be the big deal was, oh, we don't have anyone fighting with anyone, we don't have anyone doing all this underhanded, sneaky stuff. Everybody was really close when I saw them. And that was a really big pull for the team at least.
And 1, 2, yeah. And just come up as fast as you can and push her up with as much strength as you can, okay?
7, 8, and 2. Okay, good. Get back.
5, 7, 8. Again.
My parents, my dad has never known that I've been on this team. My mom knew my freshman year, and she forbid me from doing it after my freshman year. So basically, I kind of just went with it still a little bit.
Well, my parents are really supportive. They ever since my freshman year, because I kept my grades up while doing Raas, they've been really supportive.
A lot of my teammates had the issue of their parents not wanting them to take away time from their studies.
This year it's a little more personal because it's a part of me that I'm putting out there, like with the choreography and all that, putting that together and all the ideas that I have put into it. Like, it's a lot more personal what I'm putting out there. And like, sometimes I kind of wish that my parents could be there to see it. You know, could be there to like, you know, enjoy like the fact that, oh, their son has become kind of like a big figure within this community in a way. Last year, we prided ourselves on how traditional we were and how we could do slow garba, and everybody appreciates that because that is traditional, that is your roots, that's doing what is expected in a way. It's doing what is expected. But I'm kind of trying to do the whole thing where if you push the envelope, can you do better than when you did everything that was expected of you? Can you push it a little bit farther?
Wait, but where should I?
Okay, so the Bali, stand spot real quick. Stand spot. Ricky, come here. Move over a little bit. So you can a little bit more. Okay.
K1's style, he really likes. It's, I guess, more modern. He likes incorporating elements from a lot of different types of dance, like even hip hop. We have the Fort Minor piece, which was like his creation. My style is a little bit more traditional. It's more like, I guess, flowy and like girly. So I think they complement each other really well.
How does do your captaining styles complement each other?
K1 is more, I guess he's really good at teaching people moves and teaching them how to improve, whereas I'm better at picking out things that we need to work on, and I'm a lot more critical of the dance than he is.
The biggest, I think that the biggest con is the amount of pressure. I mean, I put myself in a lot more pressure than traditionally is there, because you know what, first off, I'm coming from a year where we won, we got second place, we got third place, and we went to a Raas Nationals competition. Like, that's a lot of pressure to be put on. I have a lot to live up to.
K1's a great choreographer and everything. He brings like the fun atmosphere to the team. Like, he jokes around with us a lot, and like, you know, he's very, you know, comical and stuff. But when it comes down to it, he does get to business, and we do get our stuff done that we need to get done. And then Shilpa, like you said, she's the more serious one. She brings in the more like, she keeps K1 in check, I guess, in a sense, and like she makes sure we get the stuff we need to get done. Like, if something doesn't look good, we just don't move on, but we actually look at it, revisit it, and re-clean it and stuff. So like, it's just, every year the captains bring their own different style to managing the team.
I need to be that father who says, oh, you're never good enough, you need to keep improving.
So you're always overly critical of yourself, or?
I mean, I need to be overly critical of myself because I honestly am not that good. But more than that, I need to be overly critical of the whole thing, because the idea is that you can always be better. Like, you can be good, but good is never like the best. Like, you can always be better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What happened? 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sorry, dude.
Again, quickly. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Good. This song goes and counts to 6. Yes? Okay. On 6.
Are you Gujarati, or?
No, I'm not. I'm actually South Indian, but I've learned a lot about Guju culture being on the Raas team.
Like what?
Well, they teach me some words sometimes. I learned how to wear all the clothes and food, mostly.
Is it a majority of Gujarati kids on the team, or is it?
Yeah, but every year we'll have 1 or 2 people that aren't, and there's always K1, and he's not even Indian, so that makes me feel better.
I'm not Indian in the traditional sense. I'm actually of blood lineage, I'm Persian. Like, my parents were, well, I'm not sure if my parents were born in Persia, but I know my whole background goes back to Iran. So a lot of us settled in India, but it's really a very small community, and it's a dying community, the one I belong to. So the idea was that like my family settled in India. My parents personally, they're not too into the Indian culture. At least they say they're not. I tend to say a lot of times that I'm a man without a cultural identity, because you know there's so few people, like there's so few Zoroastrians that I really have no one to base my cultural identity off of. When it comes to like rituals that we do, like family rituals, like deeper family rituals, that's more of maybe my Persian background. But when it comes to like the popular stuff that I'm interested in and stuff like that, that kind of shifts over to like the Indian, like kind of being the whole Indian thing. So I mean, in short, I'm not really Indian, but then again, I'm not really anything else really. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1.
The flips, they're coming along. We're probably going to work on that today. We actually had an accident at practice on Wednesday because we decided to try the flip on concrete, which might not have been the best idea, and Dibali fell and got a bloody nose. But I think she's okay now. I haven't seen her.
You have to manage your time really well. We have a lot of practices, at least 9 hours a week in fall quarter, and then we bump it up to 12, 15 hours a week in winter. So it takes a lot of time management, a little less sleep.
You have to seriously time manage. You have to make sure when your homework is due, if you have extra time, like finish your homework ahead of time. Because otherwise you never know when like something for Raas will come up.
It's like basically stretching yourself too thin if you do everything else, and you just get stressed out. But especially with the quarter system and everything, like it goes by so quick. So you gotta just pick and choose what you really like to do and what you have passion for.
I mean, in the end, like I realized that the choices I make in college, like no matter how much my parents, like they want to direct me in the best way they think possible, and like it's really hard to like, of course it's really hard for any young person to kind of convey like your deepest feelings to your parents. Like it's not like you could just stand there and go, hey, you're paying for my tuition, but you know what, I really feel strongly about doing this. And so I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of under the radar. Like my mom always asks me every once in a while, you're still doing that dance, aren't you? And I'm like, no, I'm not. It's really hard to, like, I can't bring team t-shirts home. Like when we have our team t-shirts, I can't bring them home. Or if I do, I'm like, oh, they had extras and they just gave one to me or something like that. And so, I mean, like, I hope that with time I can go back and say, hey, you know what, like maybe show them stuff that I did.
Are the freshmen, are they showing improvement?
The freshmen have improved so much from the beginning of the year. They're doing really well, and every practice I see them improving and trying really hard. So I'm really proud of them. It's kind of hard not to get close to your teammates when you spend so much time with them. Being on any dance team would give you a really good group of friends. It's different from the other dance teams because usually there's like one person in the center, but Raas, we're all equal.
It's an amazing feeling of teamwork. I mean, as cheesy as that sounds, like we all have to work together to make it look perfect. And when you're looking at everyone and you know you're doing it right, and you see everyone else doing it right and happy about themselves doing it right and cheering each other on, it's an amazing feeling, and I get like little goosebumps.
I'm most nervous about the end of the dance because by the end we're so tired, but it's still really important for us to leave a lasting impression on the audience's mind. So I hope that we can bring enough energy to do that.
just remember coming off stage and running to my family and just saying, I think we got it. And I mean, obviously that was a little premature because we were the first ones, but there was a lot of emotions, and it was an incredible performance. And until we found out that we didn't win, it was just an amazing feeling because we were just like kind of floating everywhere.
I mean, it was sad that we didn't place, obviously, on great team, but it felt good in that we did the best we could. All of our friends and family were there. It was our culminating performance. On that note, we finished strong and it felt good.
Bataaka Nu Shak placed third at Boston's Garba Fest, but did not place in West Coast Crown or Garba with Attitude, the largest competition in California.
What I've noticed with our dance team is it's just this, everybody kind of comes together like in a certain closeness that you wouldn't experience anywhere else. I mean, it's kind of maybe like the sports team dynamic where everybody's working their butts off together so much that like you sweat, you bleed, you cry with like all your teammates. Like those are the people that you win with, you lose with, and you develop this closeness that I think kind of holds on like through your college years, but even past that.
I'm a little bit sad to graduate and leave the team, but I know that my time on the team is up and I have to pass on my responsibilities to next year's captain.
You know, I think as far as like a bye and like a goodbye kind of thing, you kind of don't want to say it because it just makes girls too emotional. You don't want to get into that and like that whole deal. I don't have enough arms to like, you know, for all the senior girls, and it's like, you know, in the end, it's never really a goodbye.
I hope that in the years to come, they can look back on it. Maybe if once I tell them in years to come, you know, when they get a little too old to really care anymore, you know, hopefully I can tell them about it and like I can show them things like different things on YouTube and stuff, and they can finally say, well, you know what, at least it looks like you did something, and like they could be happy for the fact that I created something that like I can be proud of, and hopefully they can be proud of in the future.
A lot of things are driven by money or fame or whatever, and we're just doing this so that we feel good about what we're doing in that moment.
And once you get on stage, you don't like remember anything. You don't remember what you danced. You just remember the feeling that you had right before and the feeling you had right when you were done dancing.